Alrighty, good morning, good morning. So what kind of backtesting did you do?
Oh, just so think about trading as a professional
Yeah,
sports, right? Professionals goes to training like three, four, I don't know, yeah, twice or three times a week before they play actual
yeah.
games. So the same thing applies to trading. So me back testing is like me training. So I'm just doing the same thing
Uh,
over and over and over and over again. So the same drills that I trade. So the
okay.
trade idea that I'll find and then I'll give. I just go over it again and again and again and again because that's what my eyes are trained to see.
hmm
So when I'm back testing, I'm just back testing the same things over and over and over again to reinforce the idea in my subconscious so that it would be easier for me to recognize them when it's actually forming. And because I reinforce it in my subconscious, I can anticipate them forming, right?
Yeah,
And that's why professionals get very, very good at what they do. They grow what we call instincts, right? They cultivate instincts. So the more you do the same thing, you can sense it that it's coming.
yeah. So
Yeah, so that's what
is
I
there, sorry, go on.
yeah, I said that's what I do.
I was just gonna ask, is there anything you could share with people, like in terms of techniques and stuff like that? Like when you're, like maybe some kind of tips or tricks on back testing, uh, technology, so to speak?
Um, I just use trading view replay. It's simple
Yep,
technology. It's free. You don't have to pay
yep,
anything. And then just I think I've said the word reverse engineer. That's all.
yep,
So I'm just reverse engineering price. Maybe I'll share when I'm doing the session, I'll share how I do it. Just take a sample of data off the chart and then play it forward. And but whilst you're playing forward, try to anticipate all the moves that is going to happen based on the knowledge that you have.
yep. You've
Yeah.
done it before. Yeah, you've done it before live for people. Um,
Yeah. So
I
it's
I
just
think
repeating it over and over and over and over again. That's it.
yeah, yeah. I think just discussion of backtesting is just so important because it's like it doesn't. I think a lot of people they just and I don't want to say a lot of people, but many new traders are going in and they're just like they want to place trades. They want to get in and or they just go based on trade ideas or signals or whatnot, right? But and that's fine and all, but I think there comes a point in time where you have to like kind of recognize backtesting and backtesting doesn't have to be like software, it doesn't have to be running simulations. It could be a manual process, and that's where you actually get the knowledge. That's where you actually learn. That's how you do it, right?
Mhm.
And the application of the backtesting is not a software process. It's a manual like it's actual work, right? It's practice.
Mhm.
So, and time, putting in the time uh to try concepts out,
Yeah.
try theory out, and replay or try trade ideas that failed and see what happened and try to understand why they failed, and trade ideas that didn't fail, and putting in as much effort and time into both things, right? What fails and what doesn't fail, so you
Mhm.
can really understand. And that's what you really mean about the reverse engineering, right?
Yes. Yes.
yeah, nice.
Exactly.
I'll let you get into it. I got a bunch of things going on again. It is Friday and trying to get some updates out. Been having a lot of meetings as well with developers and things like that. So marketing. So I'm gonna jump back in, but I'll be here and you do your thing. I know it's Friday, so it's a bit of a different day. Um, but yeah, always appreciate everything and looking forward to this session. I got the LLMs going, so we are, as always. And
Awesome.
yeah, we
Okay, cool. Thank you very much.
thank
Let
you.
let me share my screen and let me know the sound if it's good.
Yep, we'll do. It's pretty good.
Oh,
A
good.
little louder, but I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
Yeah.
It's always nice when it's just a little lower,
Is
kind
it
of in
better
the
now?
background. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Awesome.
Yay. Happy Valentine's Day to everybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's Valentine's Day, so I hope I got a very lovely gift for my wife, from my wife. Um, I'm gonna try and get her something after the session. I'm not gonna go out and get her something. Um, yeah. Okay, let's look at what the dollar index has done. So we did get our target for the week, both targets for the week, right? This low and that low. Now you can see at the beginning of the month what I said, that there's a high probability they will come for this low. We're just 14 days into the month, and today they are below that. Okay? So that goes to show, yeah, that goes to show that price is very predictable if you try and understand. It's not chance, it's not random. There are some things that are printed on the charts, and if you can see them, you can predict them. Okay, so going forward, I think today being Friday, I'm not expecting much. Just an overview of what the week looked like. So if you look at the Monday opening price, okay, when I say the high of the week can form between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, this is how it looks like. So if you look at Monday went higher, Tuesday down. As a matter of fact, price should have formed the high of the week on Tuesday. So this should have been the high of the week. That's why when price went above it, I said we will be rejecting down. They should have just shut it down right here. When the CPI came out, they should have sent price lower. But guess what? Someone somewhere decided they wanted to sell. So what they do? They push it up first. Because as this was screaming up, everybody will be buying, and then they will actually get their position, and then they will push price lower. Okay. So that's a typical lovely week. I love when the week is like that. Very, very, very nice. Um, Now on the weekly chart, you can see we had an area of distribution. Now, going forward, what should actually happen? Let's talk about it, because this is going to be very important week this week. If you look at this gap here, right? That was the one that was holding price up till now. Okay. So it's very crucial for this week to close like this. It's very, very important for it to close like this. If we end up rejecting this gap today, if we end up coming back above, let me draw the price level. I think I'm already sinking. So this one here, it comes in at 107.18. If we reject and we don't close below that price level today, if we don't close below this price level, 107.18, then next week we will go higher. Okay, I'm gonna repeat. If we don't close below this candle, I'm sorry, 107.18 today, because today is Friday, supposed to stay below that. If we don't, then there's a high probability next week we'll go back up in the form of a pullback. So on the daily, next week is likely going to be coming back up. Okay, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I am confident that we will stay below it. And on our next target, be looking for price to trade here. So based on algorithmic principles that I learned from ICT, and based on, again, the backtesting that I was talking about, reverse engineering that I was talking to you about, there's a high probability price is gonna stay drop here, as long as we stay below this gap. So get rid of some of these lines. This line is not important anymore. Let me put it here. Okay, so as long as we stay below, we don't close above 107.63. As long as we don't close above 107.63, price will reach for 106.27. Okay, so you're bearish on dollar index and you're bullish on foreign currencies. Okay, so dollar index going into next week, we are looking for continuation to the downside. We can anticipate similar sort of price acts in that form this week, which is Monday go up, Tuesday maybe go up, then Tuesday New York session potential reversal, and we continue going lower. That would be what I'll expect next week, right? So we are bearish, we're looking for lower prices. We can get a pullback, and that's fine. And then we expect price to reach for 106.27. Okay, that means euro, you're gonna look for higher prices. Ultimately, I think they will run for that high. So the euro, you'll be expecting 105, I'm sorry, 1.0533. That's the upside objective on euro. British pound, they're going for this equal high, but the next upside objective will be this candle's low as the dollar index continues to go lower. It comes in at 1.26670. That's our upside objective. They are going to go for this equal high, which is a trade idea I gave. So yesterday after our session, we finished our session at 2, right? Somewhere here. Okay, and then we had a big push away from it. Then I realized that there is a high probability that we're gonna come back in the form of a pullback and continue going higher. So members, so if you're not in the portal, you probably didn't get this one. If you are in the live session, you got the $, but if you're not in the portal, you're not gonna get this one. So we had a nice retracement back to this candle's high in the form of a breaker, and then we shot up. So our next upside target for those in the community is 1.26143, right? And then based on the dollar index continue going lower, we can expect this up candle slow 1.26670 as the next upside objective. Okay. Aussie, yesterday I was telling you to buy. If you don't buy it, you're gonna regret it. I was here. I mean, I'm not your financial advisor, but I was just, winking. That's what I can do. I was winking. I was not forcing you to do it. Yeah, that we were going to shoot up and then go attack this equal high, this high, that high, and then the upside objective, which was here. Now, I like Aussie. Okay, I like Aussie because I mentioned that they were able to go back and attack the quarterly low, the 3-month low. So we do have a quarterly shift in here on the Aussie. So going forward, there's a high probability that Aussie is gonna start screaming higher. Okay, the Aussie is gonna start screaming higher. We might reach for this candle's low, this up candle's low, but that's I know it's extreme, but that's within the realm of possibilities going into the next 2 weeks. If we don't get there next week, we will get there in 2 weeks' time. All right, so anticipate Aussie to continue going higher from where we are. On the daily, now that this trade is done, let's remove all that. There's really nothing in terms of resistance. So the first resistance on the daily comes in somewhere up here. There's a small one where the up candle is, which is where I've pointed to this gap. That small fair value gap there. That's where this candle slow is. But since they did trade through and then came back down, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem. So we will be aiming for price to go up here. Let me see. Let me put one indicator on and let me check something. Okay. Yeah, that high is going to be the drawn liquidity. Okay, so somewhere up here, the gap, this candle's high. That's exactly where price is gonna go from where we are. Okay, so you're gonna follow institutional order flow. Down candles should hold price. Fair value gap should support price to send price higher. So any fair value gap that is created, that is a potential area price can retrace back to, and then they'll continue going higher. So as we are going higher, pay attention to any fair value gap that forms on the daily, because price can go back into it and then continue going higher. Okay, so that's Aussie for you. New Zealand is going to be the same, but we do have a level that price can reach for very close to us. It comes in at, let's go back to the Aussie first. So the Aussie price level is 0.65508. That's the ultimate level that we might reach by the end of this month, if not as early as the first week of next month. That's where price is going to reach for. Okay. The New Zealand is this candle's low. That candle's low comes in at 0.57500. So that too you can start looking for buy ideas on this on the lower time frame. Maybe H4, H1, and 15. If they run a stop loss, so at some point they will do something like this. That would be the best. If they run a low like this and then reject, then you look for buy. So as they're going up, maybe before they reach for this level, wait for them to run some form of a swing low, any swing low. Once they go below it and they start rejecting, then you buy it to reach for this level. Okay. So that's that for the New Zealand. Euro Aussie, I think we will resume going lower. I actually got an entry on that. I got stopped out, but I got an entry. Same area, same level, same entry. Yeah. And yeah. Got my on the 1 hour. Let me go to the 1 hour. I was here. So you can see that same area right there. That was the trade idea for the week. I got stopped out, came back down, sell it again. So no cause for alarm. I think we will continue going down. Next week, we open, we want to see immediate drop. So next week we open, no movement to the upside. As soon as we open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we want price to be dropping. Maybe in here, this H4 gap will be where price will pause a little bit. So just pay attention to that H4 gap. Price might pause a little bit, but ultimately we'll trade through it. So in there, when price is pausing, it might cause it to pull back. So with that pullback, then you sell to continue going down. Okay. So that is that for Euro Aussie. Euro CAD also rejected nicely yesterday. Got almost close to where our stop loss was, which was up here. I'm expecting this gap to hold. And then we go lower. So as long as this gap holds, I'll be expecting lower prices on the card. It might not happen this week. And if we don't get it today, and let me say this, if we don't get it today, then I think we need to abort the trade, because it will create an inside candle, which is subject for a potential run on the high next week. Okay, but this gap is what needs to hold. In all honesty, this gap needs to hold. So if they close above it, so let's say today, okay, I think there was news event at 1:30. Okay, so if they close above this gap here, which is not supposed to happen, if they do, then next week they will come for this high. Go about 30 minutes to go. So, but if they close above this high, I'm sorry, the gap, then next week they will come for this high, and that will be no good. Ultimately, we'll go down, but they will probably do open rally. Like that, and then drop. Because they would have created a fair value gap over here. So they'll open, rally, and then drop. If they close above this, okay, that's what's going to happen next week. So within the next 30 minutes, that will print the fate. The next 30 minutes is going to print the fate of next week's candle. Okay, so let's see how the next 30 minutes is going to behave. Moving on, let's look at gold. So gold, I think we are almost the levels that I projected. We are almost there. Is it on the monthly? Yeah. So we are heading for the 2 level. Comes in at 2986.58. That's where I think we're going. That's where I think we're going. Hence, we are continuously going to look for buys. Those of you that got the buy on Wednesday, well done. I did get some piece, but I've closed mine because of how the daily was looking like for this week. Yeah, this high, you run that high, and since we've not closed above it, it's likely going to struggle to go up. Nevertheless, it will still continue going up. So yesterday I placed a buy limit here. When the market closed, I placed the buy limit here. So I'm looking for them to run this low here and then come to this gap. And to be precise, this candle's high. That's what I want to buy next. So if we can get there, then I'll look for a buy. If not, then I'm gonna sit on my hands and wait. They're gonna run for this high, which comes in at Monday's high 2942.77. That's where price is gonna go. So I'm looking to buy somewhere here with my stop there, taking partial here, and then the rest, because we are trading at all-time highs, and that's where we're gonna go. Okay, so if we can pull back into that area, that'd be fantastic. Get in, hold it, and then continue going higher. Crude oil, yesterday we did not get the type of candle that I was looking for. So that puts me into waiting because it didn't give me that down candle. So I'm still waiting. All right. Now we have the up, we have the down. If they can close above the gap, then you know, the fact that they came from previous week low, if they can close above the gap, I will anticipate them breaking this high, and then we still go higher again. So it doesn't really change much, but we will need them to trade through this gap, and then we will start looking for the high, the up candle to be broken, and we resume going up. I think I like maybe one more. We will see. We will see, because it's not giving me what I want to see. Okay, but if they can go above this, then I'll take this to 1.5 candle. This one big candle, then this half down candle. I'll take that, and then I'll look for the run, just because they were able to go and take out this low here. Okay, but there's one thing that I would really want to see: the end of the month, how the end of the month is going to look like. Is it going to reject this month low? Because if it does, this will be a target for us going into the month of March, and probably this high as well. All right, so patience, patience, patience. That's something that, if you're going to trade with the algorithm, you need to exercise patience. Let it tip its hands. This morning I was doing a private session with one of my students, and I was telling them about how you cannot ignore when the institutions are in the market. You cannot ignore them, or you cannot miss them, because it's going to be an elephant in the room. So if I'm allowed, I'll show you how it looks like. So it's going to look like this. something like this. So what I'm trying to bring your attention to, it looks something like this. I'll actually copy the image and bring it here. It's like this. What I'm trying to, the picture that I'm trying to paint in your head regarding the institutions being in the market is going to be like this. When the elephant is in the room, you will not miss it unless it's not in the room. Because if it's there, it's going to be obvious. Okay. So anything that I've talked about looking for institutions, patterns, and stuff like that, this is what I'm trying to paint in your head. That's the image I'm trying to paint in your head. That when smart money is in the market, you will not miss it. Okay. Because that's how it's going to look like. So this would be the small candles, these Mickey Mouse candles, and this would be the biggest candle. Or this would be the candles that will look normal, and this would be the candle that will be showing to you that indeed someone with big money has stepped in and you need to pay attention. Okay. So that's the elephant in the room. So that's basically what I'm hunting for down here. I'm looking for that elephant. They did show a sign here, but I wanted one more. Okay, I wanted to see one more, but it is what it is. Sometimes they will play around and then still go up because they will create. It has the signature. The gap is what I needed. Here, there was no gap, right? So if you look here, there was no gap when it was moving down. We do have it here. So that's enough. And then we want them to go higher, but it will start with breaking this gap. And then we can start anticipating them going higher, right? So that's that. So that's what I'm waiting for on crude oil, in case you're wondering. Bear with me, I think my music stopped. All right, let's go to ES. So ES, yesterday we had a big push, and you know, it shouldn't come to you as a surprise because that's what we've been looking for this high to be taken. I think that's where we're going next week. We will be reaching for that. As long as this is heading towards that, this will go for that. Okay. So maybe they might even do it today. Who knows? Yeah. From this gap, I think it's on the H4. So from that one, we're supposed to go and attack. Yeah. From this gap, we should be running for 6162.7. So look for maybe just be patient for this time, that purple time, between 2 and 4. So between 2 and 4, wait for that time window, and then you might get a trade idea form. Okay, because sometimes they will do some manipulation inside the green one, and then in the blue purple one, that's when they will shoot up like this one here. So you're gonna be looking for something like this. I think yesterday I said it, right? Wait for the purple line and then look for a trade idea to form. Okay, so that's that for okay. Let's move on to the crypto market. All right. So here we are. That's Ripple for you, right? I love the yesterday's candle. So if you look at yesterday, that's why I said let's wait for a close in a specific direction. We got a close above that down candle, and then what happens today? Price shoots up. I didn't get an entry. It happened too quick. I was not awake at that time. I probably would have got an entry, but I was sleeping. Okay, so the closure above previous day high and the down candle is a confirmation that we will be going higher, right? And I think last time I did say, if you can do that consistently over the course of the year, just look at where the day closes and then the next day trade in that direction. If we close higher, trade in higher. If we close lower, trade going lower. And then you see it's not magic. It will happen if you just trade like that over the course of the year. So how many trading days? I think it's I've not checked, 200 and something days. Yeah, 200 and something trading days. If you do that every single day, Monday to Friday, if Monday closes, obviously we're gonna have days like where price will not close anyway. So in that situations, you're gonna stick with the last direction price closed. That's what you're gonna stick with. When price is not closing any direction, stick with the last time where price closed. So here, from that day, you'll be looking for lower prices. So from this day here, you'll be looking for lower prices. This does not close higher, it does not close lower. You'll still be looking for lower prices. You'll still be looking for lower prices, lower prices, lower prices, lower prices, lower prices until here. Then you switch. Now you're looking for higher prices. End of today, you're looking for higher prices. End of tomorrow, you're looking for higher prices. Okay, if you can do that just consistently every single day, by the end of the year, you will see something, right? And then if you add a few tweaks to it, then you're gonna see even greater something. So I think they've already gone for that previous week high. Hence, I would want to see price now close above previous week high this week. I want to see them close above previous week high, and then we will resume going higher. Okay, so yes, we've got the daily to close, but now we need the weekly to close because the same analogy. Remember, price is fractal. If we're closing bearish, then we expect bearish price action. So this week we were supposed to go down, but we are not. So we need this week to close bullish. Then we can look for buy. It's as simple as that. Okay. So as much as I would like to say we are going to go higher, I still need a confirmation. Right. Today can give a bit of confirmation. If we can stay as we are, then we can use the daily gap for support. Yeah, we can use the daily gap for support. So we will, you know, aim to buy to continue going up based on the daily. But the higher time frame controls price, which is the weekly. Hence, if we are using the daily, it's not bad, but we have to consider that there is a high probability because the weekly is the one in control. This daily one can fail. So you have that in your mind that if you're buying, there's a probability, not a high probability because you have the gap on the daily, but you do have a probability that price can go lower because of the weekly, right? So we can use the daily as our protection and then we continue buying as long as the daily keeps giving us these fair value gaps. Okay. Hype. I think hype has traded into premium. I don't know what it's going to do, but I would want to see them break from this mess in. It's kind of showing signs, maybe with this gap here, because up to now we've not had any bullish gap. So if I zoom in, we've not had any bullish gap. Well, we did have one here, but they immediately closed it, right? So we might be having one here. So if we can stay open like that, similar to Ripple, we can use it and then start aiming for somewhere up here. On the monthly chart, we would want them to close above this by the end of this month, which is not anywhere close to time yet because we've got 14 days. Hence, that's what I want to see. But let's drop down to the weekly. Similar to the pattern that I was showing you on Ripple, we've not been closing anywhere. That's why the consolidation has been ongoing. If we get a close, then we will continue going up. This gap will hold and then we'll continue going up. Right? So a lot of pressure is on the weekly time frame for all, I don't say all the cryptos, but the ones that we look at. There's a lot of pressure on that weekly time frame to give us something by the end of this week. Ethereum, I think yesterday I showed you what I liked, which was this one. Price action here. So buying at 618 and then aiming for this high, and that's it. I think that's still the case. I don't expect much from Ethereum. So that's it. Let's move on to Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, we had price in that gap, stay there for some time, and then we've seen a rejection. So I want to see a big up push on that. And if we get it, man, these boys are gonna run. When Bitcoin starts shooting up, the others are gonna run. They are running without Bitcoin running. So if Bitcoin starts running, then they are also going to run. And I think that should be the case based on what I'm seeing on the weekly and the daily. Weekly is supposed to go and attack at least the previous week high. Even the daily is supposed to go and attack the previous day's high. So we do have some nice equal highs all up here. Okay, so I'm really, I'll say, confident that we're supposed to be going here for now. This gap, that's where we're supposed to trade to. When we get there, then we will decide what's gonna happen next. It's a nice bearish order block. Okay, but if they can trade through that, then I think we will start aiming for that previous week high, this gap here. If we trade through it, if we can trade through, we will start making big up candles to go for the previous week high. So for now, day trade, we're looking for just this equal high. That's it. Sorry, that high here. But once we're above it, we wait and see how price is gonna react at this level. Solana still not closing anywhere. Yesterday, it actually failed to come and attack this low. Had it done that, then that was the reversal that you'd be looking for them to come up here, but I did not take it, which to me that's not good, but it is what it is. Don't trade it today. I don't think it's a good idea to trade it today. Make sure that today closes above that, then trade tomorrow. I think I gave a trade idea when we were, let me go into the H4. Yeah, here. So if the day can close bullish, then it will be aiming for this high. If the day can close above the down candle, this one, then it will start making a run for this high. So how today is gonna close, very important, and how the week is gonna close. But let's start with the day. If today can close bullish. That's their target, 220.07. AI16, nice reaccumulation candle. They opened, they took out the low, and then immediately rejected. So look for continuity to the upside. And then finally, let's look at our favorite pairs. The two. To be honest, nothing has happened yet. All they did was come back for the lows, as we were looking for. Nothing has happened. They came for the lows, as we were looking for. Now we have to sit and wait. Let's see if some buyers will come in. On the daily time frame, it does have potentially the pattern. We have the up, we have the down. So let's wait for the up, and then we can start looking for the buy. Similar to what I was saying earlier about crude oil. If they can leave this, then next we want that. So preferably today should stay as it is. Then we will have a fair value gap here. Then that will be a very great signature of price for the reversal to unfold.
Hope you're doing good. Hope you're blessed. Thank you.
And last one is Satsuki, if I pronounce it right. Am I right, Igor?
Yep. Tchotchke.
Satsuki. That's it. Man, I'm smart. uh, Nothing has really happened on the daily. I think I said they will be trading to this candle's high. I still stand with that. Nothing really has changed since we started looking at it. So 0.006329, that's your downside objective. So look for sales only. Once we get there, then let's see if buyers will step in. Okay. So that's it from me. Today's Friday, nothing much. Don't do too much because you might hurt yourself. Oh, let's go and look at gold. So I think gold has dropped into my area, my point of interest. Okay. So I think we only have about 5 minutes left. We can watch it on the 1 minute and see if the buyers will come in. On the 1 minute, this is too far away. On the 5 minutes, it looks better on the 5 minutes, right? So let's see if they can go back up from here. Let's look at the EuroCAD. See, EuroCAD rejected that H4 gap. That's good to see. That still remains. We need them to stay below this gap for this week, and next week we don't want them to come for the previous week. If they close above it, then they will come for previous week high, which is this week's high. This week's high is yesterday's high, and that's that one there. So if they go above this gap, which I don't think that will be the case because we have a gap here, we have a gap there, that should stay as a balanced price range, and price should reject. So if they can go above it, then they will come here, and then next week, wherever the high will form for this week, next week they will take that one, and then we start looking for the reversal. Okay. Euro Aussie. There you go. We have a continuation to that gap. Because Aussie is screaming higher. Let's go back to gold. 1 minute chart. So on the 1 minute, as we are observing, okay, so when I was talking to Igor about me backtesting, this is what I would do, but it'll be using the replay. So I'll have an area of interest like this marked on my chart, and then I'll do something like this. So when I'm doing my backtesting, that's what I'm doing. I don't need any software to do it. You just need trading view replay. So I'll play it, and then I'm studying how these candles are printing on the chart, every single one of them. And then when it gets to the level that I'm expecting it to reverse, I'll slow down, and then I'll play it one at a time to see how the pattern forms. So one of them is Aussie. That's one that I backtested yesterday over here, where I said price supposed to reverse and go higher. So I went through the 5 minutes, 15 minutes to see how price reversed. What did price do when it got here? Even though I've traded it, but I went back to check it again. And the same thing applies to British pound here. Because when you do the backtesting, you do the backtesting, you learn more. So when the trade got triggered, where could I have got another entry? Right here. That was another entry. And then price went for the target, the first target.
Oh yeah.
So, when you're backtesting, that's when I'm backtesting, that's what I'm doing. I go back, check the stuff that I've done, and then see how I can improve on it. Because you always want to improve as a professional trader. You don't just learn to trade and that's it. You don't do any work to improve your trading skills. So I always use the analogy of a professional footballer, because that's how I grew up. I grew up wanting to be a professional footballer. So I was training constantly. Like when I was the age of 17, 18, 19, 20, I was training 3 times a week, morning and evening, and then going to play like the real games on Saturday. So every week I train like 3 times and then play once, 4 times, and then I rest 3 days. And within those 3 days, I'm doing my personal training. I run in the morning, and then go to the gym in the afternoon, because I wanted to become a professional footballer. So if you want to become a professional at anything, you need to put in effort, you need to put in time. You can't avoid that aspect. It's impossible unless it's a miracle that even with that, if you get a miracle and you still don't work on it, you're gonna lose it. So the effort needs to always be there. Anyway, enough psychology. Let's look at gold.
It's true though.
Okay, so on the 1 minute, let's see if I've locked it. Let's see if they can give us rejection. Go back and check I'm using the right level. Yep. So watching this 1 minute candle. Maybe in the next 5 minutes we close because SPDAS is coming at 2:30. But you can do this on your own. Okay, just put it on the 1 minute and then watch it. And if it doesn't do it, you don't get an entry. It's as simple as that. If you have the ability, or if you have the opportunity to sit in front of the screen when price trades to your level, that's what you do. You sit on your hands and then you wait. Why? Because you are not going to take price up. Someone is. So why don't you wait for that someone to give you a sign that they are doing? Okay. So let's see. Looks like they might be doing it. Yep. Now, if you're watching, right, notice that over here, nothing like this formed. This is too far away. Okay, it's too far away. So this would be a high time frame. Then this would be an N15 one. So you leave that. Then you focus on here. If you're going to use the 1 minute, you focus on here and you start watching. Is it going to print the same thing? Because if it's going to go up, it should do it. That's what I call elephant in the room. It needs to show it. If it's not showing, this is not elephant in the room. So this will be considered the image that I posted over here. I think I'll get rid of it. And bring it here. There.
Nice.
Okay. So these people sitting there, consider them to be these candles. These mini candles. Okay, and then the elephant is the big one. So if the elephant is in the room, you cannot unsee it. It's going to be there. So when price drops like this, you start looking for the elephant. If the elephant is not there, you sit on your hands and wait for elephant to appear. And when they are there, like this image, so ingrain this image in your mind that when you're looking for institutions to come in, this is what you're looking for. Something that is so obvious on the chart that you cannot unsee it. Okay, and on the 1 minute chart, it looks something like this, because this is not a normal price action. The 1 minute chart, I would have preferred them to be a bit bigger than this, but it's okay. On average, it's fine. Or if you don't want to use the 1 minute, just use the 5 minute chart. If you don't want to use the 5 minutes, then use the 15 minute. Oh, my elephant keeps taking my screen. Mr. Elephant, yourself. Okay, you can use a 15-minute chart. But whatever time frame that you're going to use, make sure that you see the elephant. Okay, I think I've gone past the 5 minutes, so Mr. Igor, I'm done.
All right, awesome. Thanks very much, and always a pleasure. It's fantastic to be a part of this trading journey and experience with both you and SP-DOS. Amazing. Anyways, we're gonna sign off now, and we'll be back in about 20 minutes, just over 20 minutes, for SP-DOS New York Part 2 IT. Any closing thoughts?
Not really. I think if you're here, I hope you're learning. Just apply the things that I've been sharing, and you'll be fine. And then in future,
Yeah.
we'll dive into psychology more, the psychology to how to trade as well.
Yep. Nice. Awesome. Well, thanks very much.
You're
Take
welcome.
care.
Take care.